good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good. Because after all, that's what we want. We want to feel good in life. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. I have two guests today from the Wenatchee High School who are officers in the Random Acts of Kindness Club. And when I went to high school back in the 80s, there wasn't anything like a kindness group or Hope Squad like they have in Wenatchee and in Manson. And boy, it sure would have been neat and helpful if we had something like that. Times have changed. I feel so grateful that some of our schools are prioritizing and supporting this type of activity. And you know I love to discuss the topic of kindness, so I'm looking forward to our visit today. I also want to let you know about a book I've been reading. It's called Reclaim the Moment by Greg Binnick. It's 7 strategies to build a better now. I've been getting a lot out of this book, and I just wanted to give it a plug because if you get it, I know you're going to get a lot out of it too. So check out Greg Binnick's book, Reclaim the Moment. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you that if you have questions you'd like me to answer on or off the air, you can email those directly to me at fletcher@fletcherellingson.com. And if we use your question on the air, I'm going to send you a copy of my Amazon best-selling book called The Practice of Feeling Good. If you've been following this show and want to learn more about personal development and how to take on your life more powerfully, then grab a copy of my book. You can also visit me at my website, fletcherellingson.com. Now, before we get to the interview, which I'm very much looking forward to, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that there is still a lot of uncertainty in our world. There are wars and protests and accusations, there's inflation, there's division, lots of uncertainty. And that level of uncertainty can set people on edge and bring out behaviors that typically don't serve those around us very well. So I want to take a moment to remind all of us that we can be part of the solution. And the fastest and easiest way to do that is simply to be kind. Now, the way I define kindness is friendliness, generosity, consideration, and the willingness to offer assistance without the need for praise or acknowledgement. Look, praise and acknowledgement always feels good, but kindness is about doing things out of the goodness of your heart without the need for it, all right? If you get it, wonderful. Kindness highlights people's strengths instead of reminding them of their weaknesses. And it unites people instead of dividing people. It heals and fosters well-being instead of injuring. And it feels good to give it, to receive it, and to be around it. Kindness is powerful. Hey, we're going to take a short break. Then we're going to be right back. So please stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. I'm so glad that you're in this conversation. If you've been following this show, you know I love personal development. I love topics around kindness. And today, I'm delighted to be with two officers from the Random Acts of Kindness Club from the Wenatchee High School. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us on, Fletcher.
Yeah.
My name is Luisa Esquivel, and I'm the project coordinator at Random Acts of Kindness in the high school.
Wonderful. And how about you?
My name is Ariana Carrion, and I'm secretary for RAC.
All right, all right. Well, hey, like I told you before, we always start off with wins because we want to focus on what's going well in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So who'd like to start off? What's a win or what's going well in your life that you can share with us?
Well, recently my high school soccer season just ended, but I got nominated for, well, not nominated, but I did get first team all-league defense for the Big Nine, which was crazy because it was my first year playing defense, so I was really surprised.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's going to feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're, how many years have you been playing soccer?
This was my, 4 years. Well, like my whole life, or just high school? Oh, all 4 years.
All 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And did you have an early start in soccer, like earlier on in your life?
Yeah, I started playing when I was in first grade.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be pretty good then, right?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Good, good, good. How about you? What's a win for you?
Well, I'm a Washington FCCLA state officer. So we just came back from our winter executive training, and we just discussed all things state leadership conference. So that was a big win for us.
I love it. So you enjoy talking and learning about leadership?
Yeah.
Right on.
So FCCLA stands for Family, Career, Community Leaders of America.
Oh, that's
so it's all
cool.
about leadership, yes.
I don't think I've heard. I'm not familiar with that organization. Is that new, or has it been around?
It's been around for a couple of years, yeah.
I mean, I'm familiar with FBLA,
So
right?
it all falls under the same CTSO stuff.
Oh, okay, right on.
CT, yeah.
Right on. And now, do you have aspirations of some sort of leadership after high school?
Well, I'm thinking of becoming a lawyer. So I know that has a little bit of leadership in it.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And you're a senior, right?
Yes.
And what are your aspirations for after high school?
Well, the whole college thing, the applications just finished up, so I'm waiting back to hear on that.
Yeah, where are you hoping to go?
Either University of Washington or Gonzaga.
All right. Well, best wishes with that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're here to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. We're talking about kindness, right? And you guys are officers in the Random Acts of Kindness Club. So, first of all, what's the purpose of the Random Acts of Kindness? I know it kind of spells it out in the title, but from your perspective, what's the purpose here? Yeah, go ahead.
Random Acts of Kindness, the purpose is to just spread little bits of kindness everywhere you go, to inspire members to always strive to be kind. No matter how little the action can be or how big, it's always impactful. Whether it's giving someone a smile, you never know what kind of day they're having and how impactful something as little as a smile can be.
I love that. And I like what you said, because we never know what type of day somebody's having. I mean, somebody could have just come from a horrific fight within their family, or they got bad news, or they're worried about a test that's coming up, right? Or they broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. So I love that. We never know what people are dealing with. So yeah, sometimes just a simple smile can make a difference, yeah?
All about the random acts of kindness.
Yeah, right on. I like that. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think during high school, you can easily get discouraged, and I think a little random act of kindness can go a long ways there.
Cool. So why do you think this is needed? There were times when we didn't have this club. Why do you think it's needed?
I think specifically nowadays with social media, there's a lot of negative things just as much as there is positive. And having a club like this at the high school where social media heavily impacts a student's everyday life, positively focuses on, we encourage members to focus on the positive things. So it's important to always have a positive outlook on things. Especially high school can be challenging for some, and having a club like Random Acts of Kindness gives them something to look forward to and encouragement.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to boost a positive environment in our high school.
Cool. You know what? Obviously, I didn't have social media when I was in high school. I don't think I would have wanted it. Because how things can blow up and amplify so quickly, right? I mean, it would be I think I'd have some fear about that. So I haven't really thought about that too much, but that's a lot of added potential pressure for kids, right? So what I hear you saying is you're trying to help balance that out, and by bringing a bunch of positivity, yeah? Yeah, very cool. So share about some of the things you guys do in this group. What do you do? What are some examples of random acts of kindness?
So our random acts of kindness range from little simple things to our big projects. Like right now we have our Warm Hands, Heads, and Feet project. But we like to give a range of different projects so our members can all participate, not just after school projects, because some people don't have rides or have after school things as well. So during lunch we meet, and sometimes we do little handwritten notes to hand out in the morning, like positive notes like have a good day, you are loved, all things like that encourage high school students and our staff.
And so I want to get curious about this. So what do you guys make these handwritten notes and then you pass them out. Like, who do you pass them out to, and how do you determine who gets them? Like, tell me about that.
So we make a bunch of them. Our members, we all write as much as we can during our lunchtime, and then we have 2 entrances to the high school in the morning. So we'll split up into 2 different groups, and we'll just hand them all out as people walk in. So it's like a little greeting in the morning.
I love that, and I'm also curious about how is that received by the students?
Well, sometimes people ignore us, but we just we still go out of our way and try to get them to get it, you know. But a lot of people usually smile and they're like, "Oh, thank you," and you can just tell that it's appreciated.
Yeah. Do you, as a result of doing that, as a result of being visible and going out of your way to be kind and establish a connection with somebody, have you seen that come back to you? Like, have other people? Do you feel like some of the people feel safer around you, or are they inclined to engage with you maybe if you hadn't have reached out to them?
Yeah, you definitely see that, and we've had a lot of member growth, and I feel like a lot of that is just being present at the high school, being a present club, so actually doing things, and not just at our school but in our community. I have had people come up to me like, "Oh, what is RAC?" and Random Acts of Kindness. Like, we are all welcoming. There's no requirements, and it's an all-rounded welcoming club. So I have seen a lot of positive feedback and a lot of members coming back as well from past years.
So what is what's the number, or roughly the number of participants you have in RAK?
I think right now it's 60-ish.
60 people?
60.
Yeah.
And then some, those members bring friends a couple meetings, and so
cool.
So forth. So it's a growing number for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. And how do you guys feel like when you're standing at the door handing these things out? And I'm asking because thinking back to high school, like you want to fit in, you don't want to necessarily stand out too much. So you're kind of taking a risk. You're taking a risk by being vulnerable and leading with kindness, right? How does that feel to you? Do you ever feel uncertain or scared a little bit, or how is that for you all?
I feel yeah, definitely. And sometimes it's so I'm personally a little sheltered, so when I do that stuff, it's out of my comfort zone. But I know that some people, I know it's appreciated, so it makes me want to strive to continue to do it.
That's cool. How about you?
Same thing. I'm definitely more of a private person, in smaller settings, but in bigger settings like that, I'm more outgoing. I enjoy doing it because I know the positive impact. I know that before I was in RAC, seeing the other RAC members doing that to me, that was definitely encouraging, especially in the mornings. So I was personally one of the members that came to Random Acts of Kindness through that. So I definitely think that it's impactful.
I want to pause there just for a second, because this is really cool stuff. I'm hoping that the audience is really taking this. Here are 2 young ladies getting out of your comfort zone and leading with kindness. And that's not something we're very practiced at doing. I love that you're doing this, because do you think that will follow you into your to the future years?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Random acts of kindness and just kindness in general is a core value of mine. So I definitely try to practice that wherever I go. And Random Acts of Kindness has taught me different little acts that I could do to brighten someone's day. And they're definitely things that I will carry with me.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of an odd example, but before I was a member, I was a member of RAC, but sometimes I would get the notes handed to me, and I'd just shove it in my backpack. And then one time I was having a really bad day, and I opened up my backpack just to that nice note, and it just it really made me oh, okay,
It made a difference for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, that's so cool. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, but I have more questions for these 2, so stick around. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. Today we are talking with Luisana and Ariana from Wenatchee High School. They are officers in the Random Acts of Kindness Club. I got a few more questions here for you. And the first one is, you shared about handing out notes at the beginning of class. You also have a project that you're all working on. Share a little bit about that.
So the project we have going on right now is from November 1st to December 1st, and it's our Warm Hands, Heads, and Feet project, where we collect all things like gloves, socks, hats, scarves, anything to keep people warm during the winter.
Nice, nice. And what are some of the other things that you do in addition to like handing out notes and this warm clothing drive? What are some of the other things that you all do in RAK?
Well, currently we're working on like setting up this thing. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's like, it's for all the clubs. It's like a club collaboration, and I think it's like the week of December, or is it November?
It's December, I think.
December. Sorry. And we're just like working on fundraising, and we're gonna sell cookies, and so are other clubs.
And then what do you do with the proceeds? What do you do with the money that you raised?
We invest them back into our club so we can buy more supplies to do like more of our drives. Like for our Warm Hands, Heads, and Feet, we make them into bundles. So we need to buy like bags and tissue and ribbon to make him like a gift, like a present for Christmas.
Yeah.
But we definitely do collaborate with other clubs at the high school. I think we're planning to collaborate with our Interact Club as well. So just a bunch of things like that, partnerships with different organizations around the community as well.
Right on, right on. So you guys are the givers of kindness, right? How does it feel to be a giver of kindness?
It's definitely rewarding. I've had people tell me that just having a random act of kindness definitely changed their day. Like Ariana said before, like opening her backpack and saying that note, that's definitely impactful. Like I've said before, like even if it's like a little no or anything, like it doesn't matter the gesture, just as long as it's kind. It's definitely rewarding, and I love seeing the impact, and I love feeling like I have a purpose and like belonging somewhere. And so random acts of kindness has definitely given me that, knowing I'm making my part, doing my part in making a difference in our world, even if it's a small smile, like I said.
Yeah. How about you? How does it feel for you to like be a source of contribution?
It definitely feels really nice, and I remember last year we actually collabed with Interact Club in the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, and so we were serving the less fortunate, and us RAC, we helped make like a wall full of like kind, positive messages, and I had an individual like ask why we were doing that, and like they just expressed so much emotion that it's like they've never seen it before, and it really made me like realize that even if it's something so small, it does go a long ways.
Yeah, so I love what you just shared there, because you get to see like there's an impact for these actions, right? There's an impact for all of our actions, but frequently the impact's not very good. It's not very positive. But when people see like people going out of their way to deliberately be kind, it moves people, doesn't it? They remember it. They notice it. It's different. It stands out. So it feels really good to be a source of contribution. It feels good to receive, but it feels good to give contribution, right? Yeah, so cool. Is there an instance where you know like somebody was struggling at school? I'm not looking for names or anything, but have you ever seen like, there was somebody struggling and our group actually made a big difference for them?
Yeah, so there has been instances where we have seen people in need, and we help raise up money to contribute to them. Yeah, so even if it's like selling cookies or little things like that, we always try to, especially if we hear someone's in need or we hear something going on with one of our students, we do our best to help support them. So we'll do a couple of fundraisers and stuff like that.
Nice. And I know Christopher Hockett, he's your advisor, right?
Yes.
And so do any of the teachers kind of like, are they listening for like maybe where some of the people from your group can go and make a difference for other kids? I mean, do they ever like, hey, so-and-so's having a hard time, or let's give that person some extra loving or anything like that?
For sure. I definitely think that some teachers have noticed our Random Acts of Kindness Club and have reached out to Mr. Hockett to kind of make that positive impact on a kid's life.
Nice.
Because teachers definitely have the ability to observe, and
Yeah.
they can notice change, especially in a student. And they have the ability to reach out to Mr. Hockett.
Yeah.
For sure.
What do your parents think of all this?
So my mom and my dad, they have been a great example of spreading kindness. I've always seen my dad go out of his way to be kind and do his part. They're very active at our church, so they're always like finding new ways to help the community, whether it's stopping and helping someone on the side of on the street or anyone and the less fortunate. We often go to St. Francis House, so it's a homeless shelter downtown, and we have helped provide meals for them, and just having that example has helped me, like, encouraged me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nice. How about you?
Yeah, well, my dad's also like that too. Well, my mom too, but I've definitely gotten a lot from my dad. He's very, very considerate, and sometimes there's been times where, like, at a grocery store, the person in front of us can't afford their meal, and so he offers to pay, and I feel like that really does take an example.
Wow, that's a powerful example. How cool that your family members also model kindness, right? Yeah, and you guys are modeling it and going to continue to model it, right? So you can, it's fun to like see the ripples,
Yeah.
the ripple effect, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and I know we're not doing this to build ourselves up, but there is this ripple effect that we get to see and be happy about, right? Yeah, I love that. So how does another student get involved with this? Do they just say, I want to be part of this?
Yeah, so at the beginning of our school year, we have a club fair, and so that's where we get a lot of our sign-ups.
Oh, okay.
And so we sign them up through a communication platform, and then they receive messages when our meetings are. They're every Wednesday at lunch. So that's just become our thing. So students know Wednesday lunch, it's rack day. So they all come in and we work on our projects then. And if we ever need to finish something, we definitely schedule that after school, and we let our members know in that meeting, and we send out notifications.
Do students, can they join at any time during the year?
Random Acts of Kindness is not very a heavy commitment club, because it's not, we don't want to force our members to do
we're going to force you to be kind.
Be kind. No, we want this to come out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah.
So they're definitely welcome to come and go, and we see that throughout the year. And yeah.
Okay, so mid-year you've seen kids be like, hey, I want to join the club. Nice. Nice. So something must have happened for them to want to join, right? Yeah. They've seen you out there being active. Yeah, really cool. Do you think this will continue in years in the high school? Do you think is it like getting a good foothold in the school?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see it continuing on even after we leave.
Yeah, especially since we're spreading out and not just working with the high school anymore, but with organizations from all across town. I definitely see us growing and are partnering with different homeless shelters and organizations that help the less fortunate. I definitely see Random Acts of Kindness growing every year and continuing to make that big positive impact in our community.
Love that. Thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you for being a source of kindness and contribution in your high school and in your community. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. All right, and now you know what it's time to do. It's time to get out there. Be a source of kindness. Be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.